Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of our Autism Awareness podcast called Spectrum Stories. I'm your host, and my name is Aarav Sharma. I'm an autism advocate, and I'm the founder of AIHQ.ai, an AI-powered communication platform for families with special needs children. In our podcast, we invite change makers from the autism community who are doing a tremendous amount of impact through their work. So today we have with us a very special guest and a significant influencer, Dr. Pramila Srinivasan, who is a distinguished figure in healthcare entrepreneurship and medical research advocacy. She holds a PhD from Purdue University and is the president and board member of the Brain Foundation. Driven by her entrepreneurial spirit, she founded Medical Mining Corporation in 2007, which has grown into a leading electronic health records company. Her passion for catalyzing medical research, particularly for FDA-approved therapies addressing comorbidities affecting individuals with mental health and development disorders, led to the establishment of the Brain Foundation. Under her leadership, the foundation organizes the groundbreaking Synchrony Symposium, which is the first international event on translational research and autism, fostering collaboration among academia, biotech, pharmaceutical companies, and venture partners. So without any further delay, let's welcome in Dr. Srinivasan. Hi, Dr. Srinivasan. Thank you so much for taking the time today to join us.
Hi, Aarav. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Let's get started into your journey with some of my questions. So could you share with us a little bit about what interested you within this field and what inspired you to form or you found the Brain Foundation, and how has your background in healthcare and entrepreneurship influenced your work in autism research?
First of all, Aarav, I deeply appreciate your commitment to this cause. It gives me great hope that students of your generation are taking interest in this topic. Second, let me paint you a picture of the landscape of ASD population. Some with the diagnosis are able to function at a very high level and shine in their fields. However, on the other hand, there is another group of individuals who suffer in silence from severe medical symptoms that are not addressed, and it's destroying their lives, destroying their families at a high cost to society and keeping them from having an impactful life and a high quality of life. They have intractable seizures, a third or so are non-verbal or minimally verbal. They may need constant 24/7 supervision, and most cannot live independently or hold a job. And these individuals also have enormous potential and are often extremely capable. And it is sad. It is really sad that we have no standard of care. Why are we as a society ignoring this large population? Today, medicine has advanced so much that we can cure some cancers. So this bothered me so much that I decided that we needed a nonprofit to just work on medical research and advances for the ASD population. So that's where the Brain Foundation came from.
Thank you so much, and you're really a true inspiration for me. So what are some primary goals of the Brain Foundation, particularly in relation to autism and other developmental disorders? And could you tell me a little bit more about some of the initiatives and projects that Brain Foundation is currently involved in?
Yes. The primary goal of the Brain Foundation is to get to a standard of care for the treatment of medical symptoms in our ASD population. And to get there, we need basic science research, we need treatment studies, we need clinical trials, we need pharma to start building a pipeline of drugs to help our kids and our. So we as a foundation, we are tackling these problems at a grassroots level. So first, we put out a call for grant proposals, and we fund over 1 million in research every year. And when we first started, we had a handful of institutions interested in this area. I'm happy to say last year we had 170 applicants applying to our grant. Second, we fund treatment studies by physician researchers who see patients in our population. And we encourage the publication of these results to get the word out. So this year, we are actually starting a new initiative to fund physicians and residents to publish case studies from major institutions so we can get the word out about repurposed drugs and how they're used in our population and what effects they see. So that's one of the new focuses of our foundation. And I will talk about others along the course of this interview.
So I noticed that the Brain Foundation hosts a Synchrony Symposium, which is a significant event in autism research. So what motivated you to create the symposium, and what unique opportunities does the symposium offer to researchers, clinicians, and other industry leaders in the field of autism?
The key pillar of the symposium is collaboration. So the symposium was created to bring together people from various institutions to one event every year, the beautiful beach retreat at Asilomar Conference Grounds, Monterey, California, to share ideas. So they sit at round tables to discuss specific topics, research presentations, receiving updates from our grants, and we have mentor-mentee sessions for upcoming researchers. We have awards for best presentations, case study presentations, clinical presentations, and inspiring talks. Last year, we in fact had a Nobel laureate speaking to our audience. Apart from that, the community, parents and caregivers come in large numbers to listen to physicians, interact with them, and go back inspired. So we go to all lengths to make this 3-day conference worthwhile to all who attend.
So could you highlight some of the most exciting developments or potentially even breakthroughs that have emerged from the Synchrony Symposium? And really, I know you mentioned that it fosters collaboration. So could you provide us maybe with an example or an illustration of how the symposium fosters this collaboration and innovation among its participants?
That's a good question. We noticed anecdotally that GI comorbidities are highly likely in this population. We don't yet know the actual percentages of co-occurrence, but they do exist in a higher level of co-occurrence. And we know that it looks like IBD, but not exactly the same, perhaps. And if we treat these symptoms, the disabling symptoms of ASD could also diminish. So that gave us the impetus to fund a treatment study in this area a couple of years ago. So this is yet unpublished information, but there is preliminary data that it is indeed true. Treating the core IBD symptoms using standard of care improves the ASD symptoms as well in this population with this comorbidity. So this is an example of the kind of research that we have funded in the past and continue to fund in the future. So in the past few conferences, we've also had a roundtable to discuss another phenomenon. And this is the existence of neuropsychiatric exacerbation. What that means is repeatedly relapsing and remitting course of disease. Some of us had noticed that anecdotally, and we brought in a group of physicians to discuss that. There is some resemblance in this to the condition called PANS, which is discussed in some circles, and definitely responds to treatments that are anti-inflammatory. So now we are moving to start an official clinical guidelines consensus to define, identify the triggers and treatments that might work for this condition. So that's another example of how we take the voice of the community and turn it into action and try to look for treatment. So this event is really intentionally created with collaboration in mind. The setting, the place, the events, all of them are geared towards maximizing collaboration and interaction between people who normally would not meet at one venue, like researchers, physicians, and the community. So we have group activities, we have bonfires, we have outdoor dinners, we have physicians collaborating with researchers. And because of the cross-pollination of these ideas, a number of research proposals that we actually receive are actually born at the symposium. So that's how we foster collaboration.
That's great to hear. And I'll actually be attending the next Synchrony Symposium on July 13th, which is on Saturday, and it'll also be hosted on Sunday as well. So, what are some of the cutting edge topics and research presentations that attendees, including myself, can look forward to? And really, how does the symposium bridge the gap between basic science research and clinical applications in autism treatment?
Yes. There are as close to 50 sessions, talks, and panels, but I will highlight maybe 4 of them. So the first session I would like to highlight is the first one on Friday. We have a discussion, as I mentioned before, with experts from all over the country regarding neuropsychiatric exacerbations. So we are working with a consulting company called Oxford Pharmagenesis, and they will conduct the Delphi Consensus Protocol method for developing clinical guidelines for neuropsychiatric exacerbations. And this is the inaugural meeting at the symposium. And we will continue to work on that over the next 2 years. And at the end, we hope to have a standard of care for those with relapsing and remitting symptoms. So that's one highlight. The second is on the same day, on Friday, we will have a case series presentation. So we sent out a request for case study presentations with next generation drugs like biologics, JAK inhibitors, mTOR inhibitors, etc. And we have received an overwhelming response. So we will select about 12 of them, and it will be chaired by a Stanford physician. The physicians will present and discuss these case studies. And after the event, we will be publishing these case studies for dissemination. And we hope to do this year after year. So that way, physicians will have a place to look up case studies in this population and learn about how to treat with these repurposed drugs. The other one that I wanted to highlight, on Sunday, we attract members of our communities. We have many presentations in layman terms. And on Sunday, we will have a session where community members can actually submit their case report of their child or themselves. And we will have a panel of specialist physicians actually discussing them in real time. So they will be trying to solve these medically unsolved challenges, and they will review these anonymous cases. So in this session, we hope that we will find it very educational, and it will be educational for young and upcoming physicians and residents, and it will spark interesting dialogue among physicians who normally would not collaborate in such a setting. The last one is also interesting, which is I want to highlight one of the talks, one of the sessions on Sunday. We will have a team from Stanford, UCSF, and UC Berkeley who will be presenting their work on speech decoding from the brain waves and signals from the brain to recreate speech through an external avatar or something of that nature. Although this work has not yet happened in ASD population, it would be interesting to understand the state of the art and what the applicability might be for our population, for either therapeutics or biomarker or any of those important areas specifically for receptive and expressive speech and language, which is a big concern in our area. So those are some of the key highlights that I thought were interesting.
The avatar research, especially, that was really interesting and appealing to me. And I think one of the most important aspects of research is that how well it can really benefit the community. And so, how does the Brain Foundation engage with the autism community and really foster awareness about autism? And in what ways can individuals and organizations such as myself contribute to the mission of the Brain Foundation and the goals of the Synchrony Symposium?
Yes, we have a number of events throughout the year. We have the Synchrony and we have webinars throughout the year. And we also have a number of in-person events here in the Bay Area. So we will be having a gala coming up. We hope to highlight some of the research and raise funds for the organization for supporting the research. We also have a fun walk and run event in the Bay Area this year. The run is on September 15, 2024, and the gala is November 2nd this year. So please go to our website if you're interested, brainfoundation.org, to register in our mailing list. And that way you will get information about all these events. If you know a family with ASD in their family, please ask them to register for the event. And by registering, even if you cannot come in person, you can get access to streaming on Sunday, and you can get all the recorded videos meant for the general public. And you will receive all those notifications by signing up for our mailing list at thebrainfoundation.org. So those are some of the ways in which the community can participate.
In your opinion, what's the most rewarding aspect of your work with the Brain Foundation, and also in accordance with the Synchrony Symposium?
The most rewarding aspect of this work is the ability to work with the most passionate, kind, and talented people who work for and volunteer with the Brain Foundation. A big shout out to all of you. There are so many of you that I cannot mention here. I would advise all of you to embrace inclusivity. If you know somebody with ASD, please spend time with them and appreciate their talents and their positive nature. And please consider working in this area. It is ripe for disruption. Both the technology and the basic science aspects are really ripe for major growth. And a number of basic science discoveries are also yet to happen. And if you're a clinician, please consider working in this area as well. We really need more clinicians who are familiar with and comfortable with being around individuals with ASD. Probably, I have to say.
And looking ahead, what are some of the key priorities and future envisions that the Brain Foundation and potentially the Synchrony Symposium have in the next few years?
We have made a lot of progress, even though it's a lot of work, and we are starting to see the fruit of our labor. A number of institutions have started research in this area, and research is underway in about 35 institutions, at least due to our grants. And we are talking about studies with repurposed drugs to help patients right now, and our conference is growing every year. And in the next few years, we wish to develop consensus treatment guidelines for several medical symptoms to benefit those affected by these conditions. So we wish to jumpstart basic science breakthroughs to elucidate the underlying pathology. We are not looking to cure autism. What we are looking to do is to eliminate the disabling symptoms so that all individuals with ASD diagnosis can live a healthy and purposeful life and achieve their maximum potential. And hopefully we will have game-changing breakthroughs soon, and we hope to outlive our purpose.
I really believe that early intervention can be really crucial in terms of providing more resources and just more preparedness ahead of time as well. So how do you envision the landscape of autism research really shaping and evolving in the coming decade?
Yes, we are actually looking at some areas, including biomarker development. So those areas directly relate to early detection and early intervention. We believe that early intervention is important, but at any age, progress is possible. We are targeting research to benefit individuals at every age, including children and adults, because we believe that the entire population has to benefit from our work and not just children or kids. So we work on all sectors of the population.
So that's all for today, folks. Dr. Srinivasan, it was a pleasure meeting you today. And thank you so much for accepting the time to join me on my podcast.
Thank you so much, Aarav. As I mentioned in the beginning, it really brings so much hope to all of us to see the next generation, to see individuals like you taking interest in this topic. We really welcome all of you to come join us, not just at the conference, but the foundation. And hopefully we will have more results every year, and we wish to achieve our goal of improving quality of life for those on the spectrum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I also truly appreciate the kind word. And to our audience out there, thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll return with another changemaker soon. Until then, take care of yourself and remember, inclusion leads to innovation. Peace out.
Thank you.